Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for joining me today. It's a little rainy outside, a little cloudy, a little dreary and cold, but not cold enough for it to snow, which is anyway. And I literally just woke up like a few minutes ago, so I'm kind of disoriented and groggy. But I have my coffee and hopefully everything goes well with this video. So, Anyway, today we're going to be doing a Q&A. I'm really excited for it to be my first actual video. So obviously, as usual, I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I have 10 questions that I think are good, really good questions, and I'm going to do my best to answer them. Not take too long. Also, I would like to point out that I have only been doing this for about, let me fix this light because I don't know. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, I have 10 questions. I think they're really good. I would like to say that I do not have much education on this subject at all. I've only been doing this lifestyle for less than 2 months. So I don't know a ton of anything. I'm extremely new, so I'm going to do my best to answer these questions with the knowledge that I have. So, our first question, it's actually two questions. The first two questions go together, but I separated them out, and so it's going to be kind of fast. But it's deep. Our first question is, why should we stop using plastic? And it's because plastic sucks. No, but seriously, plastic is made from petroleum, and this just is problematic because, for example, the drilling sites cause problems in our ecosystem and people living around the ecosystem, health conditions, all those types of problems. So that's just bad. And also, when plastic is at the end of its life cycle, like once you're done using it and it ends up in the landfill, it releases greenhouse gases that contribute to global warming, and that's what we don't want to do. That's in an extreme nutshell why we don't use plastic, why we should stop using plastic. And then the second question to go along with that is, why can't we just recycle the plastic instead? I have a video that I'm going to link that you should all go watch after this that goes into detail about this a lot. So I'm just going to briefly nutshell it for you. And the first reason I already said is plastic is made from petroleum, and there's all those problems surrounding that. The second reason is the recycling is limited, so that means that plastic can only be recycled like 2 or 3 times, maybe, before it can no longer be recycled. But something like glass, for example, is recyclable. Something like glass, for example, is recyclable indefinitely. So clearly, that's a much better option on the recycling end of things. And the third reason is that recycled plastic actually depends on virgin plastic to be added. Like, it depends on new plastic, because when you recycle the plastic, it gets weaker and weaker. And so you still have to create more plastic to recycle plastic. The fourth reason is that there is a lack of value in the market, and that basically just means that it's cheaper and better quality to just produce new plastic than it is to recycle it. So therefore, new plastic just gets produced. The fifth example is contamination, and that means that if food products are on it, or if non-recyclable plastic is mixed in, then it can't be recycled altogether, and it all gets thrown out. Yay! But seriously, yeah, you can't recycle stuff with food on it, and then certain plastics are so difficult to recycle, like the way they've been made, that it's much easier to just not recycle them and create new plastic. The sixth reason is basically that we have nowhere to send it. So we were sending it to China, but they closed their doors on accepting our recycling. I'm not going to go into that because, like I said, the video that I'm going to link in the description is going to be a way better answer to this question. But that was just it in a nutshell. So, our third question is, what got you involved in living an eco-friendly lifestyle? And it's actually kind of funny because I this past semester I took a plants and people biology class, and it's required for every major. Like, I just needed a biology, and everyone likes to take plants and people, but they all like to take it online. And personally, I despise online classes because it's just easier to learn when you're in a class setting for me, and it's harder for me to pay attention when it's online, like remember to do my assignments or pay attention if it's on Zoom, which of course I'm having to do a little bit, but you know, I'm much like in person better. I like in person much better. So yeah, so I took the class in person. It was really great. I really enjoyed it. It was a night class every Tuesday, a night class from 6 to about 7:30. But it was really enjoyable. And I don't even like biology, right? But I learned a lot. And towards the end of class, we started talking about climate change, and my mind was just opened and blown at happening. Like, I was aware of it, I guess, throughout my life, but I didn't realize like the depth of how important it was and how terrible it was until I took this class, which I'm really glad I took this class. But yeah, so that's literally what got me involved, and ever since then I've just been watching YouTube videos, looking up things, reading, and doing my best to live a eco-conscious lifestyle. So our fourth question is, what is the easiest swap, something that everyone could easily do? And there are probably quite a few answers to this question. A lot of people, most people, I would say, already use water bottles, like refillable water bottles, which is great. If they're made out of plastic, it's more sustainable, true, because it's refillable than a one-time plastic bottle. But at the end of its life cycle, it's still going to end up in a landfill, and it's still going to release greenhouse gases. So something like a glass water bottle or a stainless steel water bottle would be much more sustainable. Stainless steel straws or glass straws would also be a good swap, so you don't have to use a plastic straw when you go to a restaurant or even when you go get fast food, right? So even though you're creating a lot of other waste when you go get fast food, the plastic straws are probably the worst thing that comes out of all of that. So if you use your own straw, you can cut down on that. And a bamboo toothbrush. You brush your teeth every day anyway, so it's just not plastic. It's just bamboo, and it's literally the same thing. So I would say those are probably the three easiest swaps that you could do as a beginner, or even as someone who doesn't plan on living a fully zero waste or sustainable lifestyle. Those three things would still cut down significantly over time, which would be great. Question number 5 is, how do we implement systematic change rather than just a few people doing things? Okay, so I'm not gonna try to go too deep or answer this question too perfectly. I will say that if everyone does things and not just a few people, then that should inevitably have some kind of effect on, you know, communities, higher corporations and things of that nature. Because the same way we're all consuming this plastic, if we all stop consuming plastic, there would be no reason to keep making it, and therefore we would no longer consume it. Like that's pretty self-explanatory. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. I will say that quite obviously most people are still using plastic, and most people are not even maybe as aware. Like, I was not aware 2 months ago, and I still would be using plastic and styrofoam had I not known. Probably a really good way to implement change would just be to change in your own personal lifestyle, and that'll influence others. Number 6 is, would you date someone who doesn't live low waste? Simple question. Answer to that question is probably. There are a lot of people in this world who don't live low waste. So the follow-up question to that is, would I marry someone who doesn't live low waste? And probably not, because I'm pretty sure and this goes for everyone, like when we get into relationships, especially when we plan on marrying someone, we are looking for someone who has the same beliefs as we do. Like at least I do. I don't see why like you would marry someone who doesn't believe the same things as you do. Therefore, if they believe in climate change and living this lifestyle, then I also do, then good, it works. Question number 7 is, what is a common misconception about living low waste? This is a good question, and personally I don't even know. Like I said, I've only been doing this for a little bit. Conceptions, right? I know that, and this question uses the term low waste, but I know that a common misconception is, oh, well, do you just produce no trash at all? And the obvious answer to that question is, yes, I still produce trash. Like, because of the world I live in, the society that I live in, it's not possible really for me to live without producing trash at all. But it is extremely possible for me to cut down on the amount of trash I use, and it is extremely possible for me to cut down on the amount of plastic I consume. So that's what the whole kind of low waste lifestyle is about. That is my one misconception. I can make maybe a video later that's like top 10 misconceptions or something. Let me know in the comments if you want to see it. Let me know in the comments if you want more about any of these topics, by the way, or any of the ones to come up. So yeah. Question number 8 is, what's the hardest thing about living sustainably so far? The big thing, but I'm gonna say not living in my own place. Like I said earlier, I'm still living, or maybe I didn't say it earlier, but I'm still living with my parents at home when I'm not in school, like when I'm on breaks. And then when I am at school, I live in a dorm room with thousands of other people. So that's probably the hardest part, because it's hard for me to control everything that comes into the house or into the dorm, as well as to control the trash that leaves. And so when I have my own place, I will be able to do my own grocery shopping for, myself, produce as little trash as possible, all of those things. And when I'm living with people, it's hard, it really is hard to convince them to not buy these plastic water bottles, or not buy this, or not buy that, or not throw away that, or not try to recycle that because it has food on it. So that's hard. I will say a good thing that's coming out of it is that I'm able to make people more aware. Like my brother, for example, has been so much more aware of like little things ever since I've been doing this, which is really good. I'm really excited about that. And whenever, mom needs groceries or something, I offer to go grocery shopping. And of course, I bring my reusable bags and I try to buy the most sustainable options there. I will say another hard part is I live in an extremely small town where I don't have options to like bulk or maybe just non-plastic packaged things. It is harder where I live. So hopefully, soon enough, I'll live in a place where I have better access to things like that. And that's across the board, right? So if you don't live in like a place where you can buy in bulk, and I've been on this topic for kind of a long time, but it's because I think it's a real thing. Like I think another misconception, this is a misconception, I'm going back, is that sustainability is hard. And that is a misconception, but also it's true. Like it is hard if you don't understand that you don't have to do everything perfectly. Like you just need to do what you can. And that's so much better than doing nothing at all. But I can make a video about this later, so I'm done. Zip. Okay. Question number 9. Does it actually matter? I think this is actually a great question. I think this is a really good question. Let's see how I want to say this. Living sustainably does not matter if I'm the only person doing it. Sorry, my mom just called, so I apologize if the video is not in the same place. So, as I was saying, living sustainably doesn't matter if I'm the only person that's living sustainably. Um, and so, obviously, if I'm the only person, I'm just going to go back to living a normal plastic lifestyle. Um, but what I will say is that if other people have been able to influence me and convince me to start living a more sustainable lifestyle, um, and if I'm even able to influence like my brother or my friends to bring their own jar to the coffee shop or use a bamboo toothbrush, then I think that the more people that live this lifestyle, it'll just continue to grow and grow because people will continue to be influenced by it. And I understand that, like, say it gets so big that we don't even use plastic anything anymore. Well, everybody who has jobs in these factories and industries, like, will literally lose work. And I haven't done all my research on that, so I understand that that could be really hard on the family because, like, where's your income gonna come from? Um, so I know I got really serious just now, but it's because I really am so passionate about this, and I really do think that it's very important. It definitely matters. Um, and so yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. If you want me to make another video about this, please comment. I'm so serious about the comment section, guys. Please comment because I'd love to get suggestions from you because I don't know what I'm doing. And I'd love to hear what you have to say. Please, anything that's on your mind at all, comment, put it in the comments. Question number 10 is, what is sustainability? And I'm going to answer this question personally as well because I think that there's not one umbrella definition or one like bottom line definition. Sure there is, that would apply to everybody, but sustainability is going to look different in my life than it is in someone else's life than it is in someone else's life. So I'm just gonna say what sustainability looks like for me. And the first place that sustainability starts for me is in the mind, right? So I'm thinking of everything. Is this gonna be beneficial to me in the long run? What is the footprint that went to this item before it even comes into my possession? What's going to happen to it after it leaves my possession? Is this necessary? You know, do I every possible question I can ask about something, I'm asking it. And I've also been really lately, like, living this lifestyle has also made me extremely conscious of all of the first world problems that I have, and I'm trying to like really take absolutely nothing for granted. So I could say like, oh, I only have 16 subscribers on YouTube. Um or oh, I'm don't even have a camera. I'm just videotaping this from my phone. But like that's such a first world problem. Like, at least I am able to have this phone. At least I have access to YouTube. Like, so many people don't have these options. And so, what am I saying? I'm saying that at least I have access to be able to live a sustainable life. Like, it may not be the best access. Like, no, I can't shop in bulk where I live. No, my family is not as sustainable as I am. But one, I'm not going to allow myself to just say, oh, well, forget it. Just, I'm going to start using plastic. No, I'm still going to do the best I can to continue to try to influence others as well as continue to be grateful for everything that I do have. So, I think that's what sustainability is to me, is it's doing the best I possibly can with what I have. It doesn't mean never going out to eat fast food. It doesn't mean never buying plastic. It doesn't mean producing zero trash. It means doing the best I can with what I have. So that's all. I thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, please subscribe for more content. And you can follow me on Instagram at ecofriendlyjoe, if you will, for more sustainability content on Instagram. And like I have been saying throughout the video, please comment with any questions, any suggestions, any critiques, any criticism, anything. Please, I want to read your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. We're going to leave now. I'm going to go. But yes, above all, just do the best you can with what you have. Maybe that'll be my catchphrase. I don't really like it that much, but we'll see. Let me know in the comments. Bye!